Hello world, Krista here with Books and Jams, and I am here with the return of a Friday 5. Friday 5 is a series that I started sometime early in 2017 or maybe in the fall of 2016. I don't even remember. But around last summer when it was time for me to start moving to Virginia, I stopped doing Friday 5 videos, but I kind of missed them. So I'm not sure I'm going to be doing them every single Friday, but I'm going to try because I did enjoy doing Friday 5 videos, and I think it's a fun way to talk about some different books that might not show up in my TBRs or my wrap-ups, and to talk about some other fun things as well. So here we go, back into it with a Friday 5 for today. And today I'm going to be telling you the 5 books or series that I am interested in rereading in the course of 2018. I did not do very much rereading in 2017, and that kind of makes me sad because there are a few books on my radar that I really would like to read again. On my list today, I have 2 series and 3 standalone books that I would like to try to reread in 2018. And the first of those is a series that I have reread multiple times, but it's been a couple years, so I'm due for a reread of The Chronicles of Narnia. There are 7 books in this series, and they're all relatively short. It's one that I like to revisit. I think they're a lot of fun. I read them first when I was quite young. So we have The Magician's Nephew, The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, The Horse and His Boy, Prince Caspian, The Voyage of the Dawn Treader, The Silver Chair, and The Last Battle. And these are all written by C.S. Lewis. They're fantasy, young adult, middle grade, wonderful little books, and I'm very excited to try to reread these in 2018. Another book that I read as a child that I am really excited to reread because it's been a long time, and this is actually the copy of the book I had as a child, and it's The Twits by Roald Dahl. This was my favorite Roald Dahl. He has some other popular ones like Matilda and James and the Giant Peach, but I was a fan of The Twits, and this is a very beat up copy with my name and some scribbles in there. My sister's name is in there. It's a well-loved book, and I am very excited to read this again. It's about this couple who are just wonderfully awful and dirty and gross and crude and mean. And I'm very excited to read about them again. It's been maybe since I was a kid that I've read this book. So I've seen it on my shelves, and I am very excited to read this again. The next book I have is a book that I read before I ever joined BookTube, and I never heard about it when I first started, but in this last year, there's been a ton of people who've been reading it, and it makes me want to go back and visit it again. And that is The Shadow of the Wind by Carlos Ruiz Zafón. This is set in Barcelona in 1945, and it's about a little boy who is taken by his father to the library of books, and he's allowed to choose one book. I don't remember why, but the book that he chooses, he reads and falls in love with and wants to hunt down other books by this same author, and finds out that someone is destroying all of the books written by this author. So there's a bit of a mystery involved. It's a book about books. It's a historical fiction. I'm very excited to reread this book. I don't remember loving it as much as everyone else did when I first read it, so I'm very excited to revisit it and see if my feelings about it changed. I don't often remember very much about books, so maybe I did really love it, but I think I remember finding it to be a little bit slow when I first read it. But now that I've read so many other books, maybe that will change. I don't know. We shall see. Another book that I've read before I joined BookTube and now have been hearing a lot of people reading it is The 13th Tale by Diane Setterfield. And this is another book about books. In this book, we have an older woman who was a prolific author, but is getting up in age and unable to write anymore. And she hires a young author to write the rest of her story. And so there's a bit of biographical information about her, but a little bit of mystery that surrounds it as well. And again, this is not one that I feel like I loved when I first read it, but so many people have loved it on BookTube that I want to revisit it again and see if my thoughts and feelings have changed. And this cover is absolutely gorgeous. I love it. I own other books by both of these authors on my shelves, but I want to go back to these ones first before jumping into the other books that Diane Setterfield and Carlos Ruiz Zafón. I believe this is the beginning of a series, or a trilogy actually. I'm not sure how many books are in the series, but I have a couple of them, but I want to reread these ones first. The 5th on my list, and the other series that's on my list, is the Circle series by Ted Dekker. So I'm missing Red, which is book 2. I don't know what happened to it. I'm very sad that I don't have it. I mentioned these when I read Stravaganza, City of Masks recently, because in that book and in these, there's a character who is awake in one world, and when they go to sleep, they're in a completely different world. And that is how this book starts. But there's a lot of action and adventure and a little bit of Christian allegory in this as well. I'm very excited to reread this series in particular because I heard that there's another book coming out that is after the events of these 4. So I don't know if it's going to be starting a new series, but it involves characters from these 4 books. And so I'm very, very excited to reread these and get them fresh in my mind before that new book comes out in 2018. And I can't remember the name of it right now. I'll put a picture of it here. I just learned about it today. So I was like, oh, I definitely need to reread this series before that book comes out. Those are the 5 books and series that I would like to reread in 2018. I would love to chat with you down below if you are a rereader or not. Is there a book that's on your mind that's something that you would consider rereading or that you're interested in rereading? I would love to hear about that down below. Be sure to give me a big thumbs up if you like this video. Subscribe if you haven't already. I would love to chat with you and get to know you better. And you'll be seeing me in another video very soon. Bye!